Well, hello everyone. I bet you're wondering, what am I doing today? Once a year, every year, I do this. It's working with my black walnuts. It's a lot of work, but it's so much fun. I'm taking our black walnuts, I'm making ink for what I use to write letters. I use the black walnut ink for all kinds of things, and I use it to dye some fabric that I use for gifts. We have to get a good fire going. To be honest with you, it's so cold out here. I thought maybe I should try to do this in the house, but I thought, no, I better not. Who knows what walnuts smell like in the house when they're cooking. So we're getting a fire going, and now I have to go get some more wood, and then I'll show you what we do next. Now I'm glad I did, because it's the perfect size for on here. All right, so what we have to do now is we are going to get water, and we're going to put our walnuts in it. All right, step number 1 is done. Now we're going to go ahead and cook these walnuts and make sure they get really good and boiling hot. So I'm going to use some old cloth, and this is what I'm going to use to strain it. So what we have to do is we have to cook the walnuts, and then we're going to strain it so we have the nice dye that doesn't have any kind of bugs or worms or anything like that on it. When you have black walnuts, you're going to see little worms in the black walnuts. That's okay, we're not eating this. But after they're cooked, I will let them dry, and then we can eat them in the wintertime. But first, we have to cook them, then we have to strain it, and then we'll work on dyeing our cloth. And this is what they did years ago. This is how they got their cloth in different colors. They used natural ways to dye everything. It's so simple and easy. Now, the longer you let the cloth in, the darker it will become. And you want to always add 1 cup of salt into your brine. That is before you put the cloth in. So once you strain all of the walnuts and you just have the dye, you want to add 1 cup of salt to the water. Now, I didn't let mine in very long. I didn't want it to get very dark brown for this project. On other videos I have made them extremely dark, but this is to give a primitive look. So why do people do this? It's called primitive. It is a look where you can use tea, you can use coffee, and I like to use black walnuts. This would have been a reproduction of what they would have done in the 18th century with different cloths. If you have cloth that has a lot of stains on it, this is a great way to reuse it. And as you all know, brown is my favorite color. So we're going to let these dry 24 hours, and they don't bleed at all. Now, I wouldn't want to wash them the first time in with my regular clothing, But because I wash a lot of these things by hand, this works out perfect for me. But this is a way that you can have that old time look to things, and you don't have to buy commercial dye. Now, people have asked me about hair dye. I am still doing a lot of research on that because I don't want to do anything that would not be very good for me. So I am researching that as far as using that as hair dye, because I am not going to be dyeing my hair again the commercial way, because I had a very bad experience about 60 days ago where it was absolutely horrible because that dye somehow got into my bloodstream and it was very toxic. So I will be giving you a video update if I do decide to use this method for dyeing my hair. All right, and they're done. So I just rinsed them off. What you want to do is let them dry totally, and then you can wash them. Go ahead and give them a good wash, and then they're ready to use. You can dip them over and over again if you want them to have them darker. And I had a leftover fire, so I decided to make lunch. Everyone, it is the following day, and I wanted to show you what these towels look like since I washed them. So these are washed with regular laundry soap. Well, I make my own homemade laundry soap, but it's washed with soap, and they came out really nice. So they are a beige brown color. Now I could let them soak longer in the walnut if I wanted to have them darker, but I actually like this color. It's a little bit like tie dyeing, so every time it turns out different. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Every once in a while you're going to see 2 videos in one day. That is when I have a full DIY tutorial. I decided to do that. That way, people that are searching for a specific DIY, they can find it easier. So if you're interested in all of my DIY projects, I have hundreds of them. I'm going to share with you some videos right here on other projects that you can do, and you don't have to spend money in doing it.